all I'd just like to say is, so stability is a commodity. What do I mean by that? I remember talking to one of my friends, and I was contracting, he was contracting, and we'd be always in and out of work sort of thing. The money was great, but, he's got a wife and kid and everything. And I remember saying to him one day, just came off the top of my head, I said, stability is a commodity, right? And if you've got something, a residual income coming in, whether it's a salary or an investment coming in every week, that takes a lot of heat out of your day, right? And what I would like to say to you guys out there, everyone just raise your hand if you or a family member or friends or colleagues know someone who's been made redundant over the past 5 years.
Welcome back. This is your breakfast show, and it's happening here on the Liberty Radio platform. All right, guys, and we're coming to that part of the show now, which I really, really enjoy, which is the pursuit of success. All right, and Maurice is with us this morning as we've enjoyed some music, but he's here to share some powerful tools to increase our financial IQ. All right, that's a thing now, isn't it?
It is. Thank you for that. I'm going to run with that. Have you copyrighted it?
Of course. Everything I flow out my mouth, and I have evidence here. I'm only kidding. But yeah,
consummate
definitely.
businessman. Oh, my goodness, what am I going to do with you?
That's it. No, this is about pursuit of success.
Right.
So when you have an idea, guys, patent
Run with
it.
right?
All right. That's it. You make that exchange. Because imagine now we goes and build something and they running with it.
Franchise.
You know what I mean? And you're just there miserably in the corner of your room watching EastEnders.
I'm more of an Emmerdale man.
Gosh, I'm against. Everyone on the breakfast show knows how I feel about.
I'm kidding, by the way, guys. Please don't print that, please. Anyway,
so Maurice. Last week, we covered quite a few things last week, increasing our financial IQ. And what you did is you showed us what we can do to start moving towards building wealth. And you talk about, we spoke about getting information, putting ourselves in that environment to be aware of what's happening in our financial environment, that we may not get the jargon straight away. However, it will come. You start to adapt to it. Like you gave a wonderful example. Like if you was to go to Spain or Germany, you will start to acclimatize. You start to pick up. Like when I first started hanging out with Portuguese people in my team, como vai você, tudo bem? Eu falo um pouco português. I started to, pick up these, tá bom, all of these little things, right? You do, it seeps in, right? Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So Bloomberg TV, don't forget that.
Yeah.
You can, if you don't have Sky, you can catch highlights on YouTube and
fantastic.
And they actually do give a lot of insights. If you watch and listen closely, they will drop a few little nuggets. You'll get people coming on there, like hedge fund CEOs and huge investors, $1 billion investors coming on there, dropping little things. You just gotta, as long as you're attuned to the language, you can understand, it will make sense.
And it doesn't matter where you are right now, right? What you were sharing with us last week, it doesn't matter where you are right now. If you're unfamiliar with the language, just put yourself in that environment, right? And you will acclimatize naturally. You will. And that's what should have happened between now and then. And also something that was also quite interesting as we spoke about, save, not just for the sake of saving, but
save to invest.
Save
to invest. Don't just put your money in a high interest 90-day account. By the way, do you know what they do? Can I just tell you something? I'm going to take too much of your time. I'm going to be very, very quick. So you know that you got these 90-day accounts, right? You put your money in and you got to notify them, I need my money to go on holiday. But you got to give them 90 days notice to get your money. You're aware of that, right? Yeah?
What?
Yeah. So their accounts.
Is it to close the account or just to get money out of the account?
No. So you put your money into a high interest account. So if there's low interest accounts where you can get your money tomorrow or next week or whatever, right? But then there are high interest accounts, right? But the caveat to that high interest is that you cannot get your money like that. right? You can't just go and grab your money. You've got to give them 90 days notice. Do you know why?
Tell me.
I'll tell you.
Open
Because these guys, the banks, you've just saved £1,000 or invested, quote unquote, £1,000, right? That's sitting there. That's giving you a high interest of, I don't know, high interest today is what, 2%, 3%, right? That's high interest. Guess what they're doing with your money? They're investing it in the stock market. They're investing it in Netflix, Tesla, Microsoft, Zoom. These guys are making way more money on your £1,000 than you are. You're getting a measly 2.5%. These guys have just invested in, I don't know, what's the latest, like NEO is the equivalent of Tesla in the Far East.
Wow.
These guys have just made like 60%, 40%, whatever, within the same time period.
Wow.
So it's like, you know, you can't, once that becomes enlightened to you, you just think, Mike, I've been done.
I believe the word
I've been done here.
Hoodwinked.
Yeah, kind of.
Hoodwinked.
But in a nice way.
In a nice way?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that
in a nice
nice?
way, yeah.
I mean, like, hear no evil, see no evil. If someone gives me a pinch and I don't feel it so much, or I'm not aware of it.
Don't worry, we'll invest your money on you for you. We're going to give you, it's going to be tied up for 90 days, but guess what? We're going to give you 2.5%.
Wow.
Yeah, 2.5%.
And
the hard earned. Yeah, don't worry about it.
And they're getting 60% off it.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things we're getting here, listeners, that, you know, why be at the... And look, we're not... I'm just saying this again. We're not being materialistic here. We're not being, because sometimes some people can get a bit scandalized. They're like, you're speaking about money? Oh, what is wrong with you? No, it's literally, it's a question of where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do with your life? King Solomon was able to upgrade Israel's resources because he had wisdom and he knew how to use the wealth. The people prospered. The people were well. They were good. They were strong. They didn't lack anything because he had the wisdom and how to apply certain things so Israel can grow. And that was in the Bible. Today, we're making sure that we have information, wisdom, knowledge, and we're being taught how to apply this today for you to grow a life that you want, so you have the resources to help and bless many other people. You know what I mean? So obviously, I'm not saying that you're thinking like this, but I'm just nailing that in the bud, all right? Just in case, all right? Because this is really important. So why be at the bottom of the food chain? Why be at the bottom? We were told to be the head and not the tail, yes or no? So with this information that we're learning today, let's put into practice. Let's get involved in these different types of markets, understand how they work, and utilize these resources that are available to us. And let's go out there and just make the difference. I think that's really important.
100%. I love what you just said. And whilst we're on the subject of, being focused on money, so I need to say this to people, right? Because people get this thing in their head, money's evil, and you're talking about money, and that's all you guys talk about, and
Does that happen? Okay,
kinda, yeah.
Tuesday's a pursuit of success, people. So we're teaching you how to grow things. All right, that's
kinda.
But yeah, go ahead.
So we live in a capitalist society, and until people start giving me my mobile phone contract and my gas bill for free, and my electric bill and food for free, and my Amazon delivery for free, until that happens, I'm going to have to engage in a capitalist system. It doesn't mean that we are pursuing things to show off and be opulent and, arrogant and all that sort of. No, you are taking let's say, worst case scenario, a defensive position to defend yourself against the wiles of the market and protect yourself, your family, and build something for yourself in the future. That's it. And also, this is not a get quick rich scheme. This is long term. We are looking at long term wealth, long term learning. You become a student of your discipline. That's what we're doing here. I'm not telling people, you see these adverts online, you can make 100 grand in 6 months. No. Stay well clear. No, this is not what I'm about. I'm about building wealth over years, building financial knowledge and self-sufficiency. That's it.
And I think that's a challenge because many of us we don't have the tendency to look that far. Usually it's just paycheck to paycheck. It's usually just, month to month, buy food, pay the bills, exist, right? Generally, we have our faith, we pray, we use our faith. But sometimes, what we know can kind of limit us,
Correct.
And how we apply the resources that we have in our day-to-day life, to build certain things. So it's really important what you're sharing with us today. But before we start and you go into the meat of what you're sharing with us today, just give us your little disclaimer, please.
Sure, yeah. So my disclaimer is I am not a financial advisor. I am, not financially, I'm not FCA regulated, right? So Financial Conduct Authority means that if you're FCA regulated, you become a professional institutional trader stroke investor working for huge, conglomerates as that title, right? So I'm not that. What I do is I have a media platform, My Money IQ, on Instagram, coming on LinkedIn and Facebook, and that guides people. It gives people great motivation and information into market insights, and that is it, right? Just to expose people and actually change the psychology of how people look at their money, their investing, and their future. That's it.
Fantastic. And obviously you have over 2 decades of experience working in the financial sector. So you've been there with the big boys, seeing what they're doing, seeing how they work.
Indeed.
And, and it's powerful what these experiences can bring. And you're literally here to share it with us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So what we're going to be looking at today, champion?
Okay, yeah. So we are going to be looking at, last week we covered three things, 3 different levels of getting into the market. So we looked at being a day trader, a swing trader, and a value investor. So today we are looking at being a value investor. Why? Because it's the in my humble opinion, it's the easiest entry into the market. And if things start to go left, a bit wrong, it gives you enough time to get out of the market, right? As a day trader, when the market turns against you, you can lose your shirt in a day. You can lose your shirt in 10 minutes, right? Okay.
It sounds like someone getting beaten up at school.
Yeah, it feels like, like if you lose money day trading, it feels like someone just nicked your lunch money.
Oh, wow.
Like someone's literally just beating you up and said, I'm taking your lunch money today.
And your shoes.
And you can't do anything about it. In fact, I'm just going to take one shoe and leave you with the other one and just make you look real weird for the rest of the day. Right?
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna look at value investing, which is the Warren Buffett way of doing things. I like Warren Buffett because he's very level-headed.
Yeah.
He's a long-term investor. He's very humble. He doesn't live in the hills with all Hollywood guys. I think he drives a Volvo.
Yeah.
Right. It's like 60 billion. He lives in the same house he was born in.
Yeah.
With his wife. Very methodical, very sober.
Absolutely.
Right.
Here's a question. What did Warren Buffett do, just briefly before you go into this?
Okay, so Warren Buffett has started an investment company called Berkshire Hathaway. And this company basically, it's like an asset management company. And he just invests in different asset classes, but mainly stock. So he will have people that will trade for him, like things like oil and foreign exchange and stuff like that. And, but he is a stock guy, right? So he has a big team of people who do different things for him. But he himself is a stock guy, and he's made the majority of his wealth through stock. Just like what I was talking about in last week's show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and long term as well. So he's not really a day trader or swing trader. He's I'm going to invest in this for the next 5 years, 10 years and beyond.
It's quite interesting. So he invested in Coca-Cola, right? I actually saw a video that he said, okay, you invest in Coca-Cola. So he invests in Coca-Cola, say, just for hypothetically speaking, it's $1 investment, right? For Coca-Cola.
Right.
All right. And then today, Coca-Cola, distributes and sells 2 billion plus Coca-Colas a day.
Wow, look at that.
He holds a share of £1 of that.
Yeah.
What does that mean for Warren Buffett?
Yeah.
Right? So
that's part of his, that's just
that,
tiny part of his portfolio.
So that's how powerful getting into investing in stocks is. And I like this method. I like this methodology of investing. I like it because it's calculated, right? You understand what you're getting into, and you're looking at a marathon, not a sprint.
And you can take your time. So be very, guys, let me just say this to all of you, right? Be very careful of anyone, whether it's a friend, family member, a colleague at work, a church member, whoever it is, saying, "Oh, I got this investment thing, but you got to sign now." Right? So that when I hear that, warning bells go off. Like, why now? Why you know, what's the urgency? Obviously there's urgency. You always have to, there's certain things you want to get in place now in your life, but
some opportunities just come up, right?
Yeah, right.
But you got to be sober.
But here's the thing, right? Is the person giving you the opportunity to have a look at themselves? Like, for instance, you guys can go onto LinkedIn, look at Maurice Innis, INNISS on LinkedIn, Maurice spelled Maurice, and look at my background, right? And is the person giving you an opportunity to look them up and check them out and see if they're the real deal, right? And look at their platform and check out their platform and the product. What are they selling you? Like, if they're telling you to sign on the dotted line now,
something's up.
That to me, I've been to pyramid scheme programs over the years, and there's a format. So I'm just letting you guys know, be aware. The reason why I'm telling you the Warren Buffett method is that it's long term. It gives you the opportunity to learn along the way. And if things doesn't look right, or your instincts is telling you something's off, get out. You've got time to get out.
Yeah.
The thing about day trading is you don't have that luxury. If things go left really quickly, you can be done. Like, you can be toast in like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Right? So you put in a grand.
So it's very quick.
That can disappear.
So it's very quick. So look, we've got stock. Okay, I've done my research. I'm investing into this.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm going to sell it over here. But then things can just change and go wrong.
It can go real wrong.
So okay, so value, and so we're looking at being a value investor.
We are.
All right. So look, guys, we're going to take a very quick time out because we're going to go into this section. I'm really looking forward to this. You can't imagine how much I'm looking forward to this because I really believe in this method. I really do believe in investing for the long term. That's what faith can be spontaneous for certain situations, but also, we're sowing every single day for something greater ahead. And that's why I believe in this principle of value, being a value investor. So guys, we're going to go into some more music. I'm going to leave you in the hands of the one and only Captain Hugo, as he's going to play some jams. He's going to play some jams for you today. All right, guys. And please, and also if, what is your take home, please put it in the live chat right now so that we can see, and obviously I'll be communicating with you in the live chat, and I'm really excited about this. All right, so we're going to come back in just a moment. I hope this is blessing you, just watching you with all that good stuff. We'll be right back after this. How are you doing, guys? Okay, we're back. This is your breakfast show, and I hope you're enjoying the vibes this morning, whether you're on the tube, on your commute, and because tube in UK, we got Wi-Fi. I don't know how it is over the rest of the world, or you're on the bus, and you're catching everything, you're bopping your head, you're being inspired. When you get inspired and your eyes just light up, and you're hearing some good stuff that you can put into practice and use. That's what we hope we're doing today. So just for the time out, we'll get into the subject of being a value investor, all right? Being a value investor. Now, I think this is important because even like during the time out, you were speaking about stability being a commodity. We know time is a commodity, we know knowledge is a commodity, but stability is a commodity. And just to kind of just wrap up so you can get to the meat of what you wanted to share. Very, very quickly.
All I'd just like to say is, so stability is a commodity. What do I mean by that? I remember talking to one of my friends, and I was contracting, he was contracting, and we'd be always in and out of work sort of thing. The money was great. But, he's got a wife and kid and everything. And I remember saying to him one day, just came off the top of my head, I said, stability is a commodity, right? And if you've got something a residual income coming in, whether it's a salary or an investment coming in every week, that takes a lot of heat out of your day, right? And what I would like to say to you guys out there, everyone, just raise your hand if you or a family member or friends or colleagues know someone who's been made redundant over the past 5 years. Forget COVID-19, what happened in 2020 and now. Just raise your hands if you know anyone who's been made redundant or who's been at the wrong end of the job market over the past 5 years. Because I can tell you...
I'm in there, I know people,
right? Right? So I'm from investment banking. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, you had a job for life. It was stable, it was great money, you had bonuses, you had inflation linked pay raises, so it wasn't even weight your money. You had luncheon vouchers, you had... we had a special... subsidy for suits.
You're traveling back,
right, you had to... Like,
they were good times. I can see that. Yeah,
these were the 90s.
Yeah.
Right? So, what I'm been experiencing over the past 5 years is a lot of my friends calling me up with good jobs, right, in certain professions saying, oh, I've just been made redundant. Are there any jobs going at your place? On a regular basis. And that's what got me thinking. That's why I am where I am now, because people kept calling me up saying, Maurice, what do I do? How do I do my CV? What's going on? And I said, look, get onto LinkedIn. The paper CV is good, but you need to be online. You need a digital professional footprint on LinkedIn where people can see you, blah, blah, blah.
So just to sum up, so what you're saying is there is no secure 9 to 5 nowadays?
There is not really like before, because as I say, if you interview the average person on the street, a random person on the street, and say, hey, how's your employment been over the past 5 years? Or how's your husband's employment been? How's your wife or
so it's been unstable.
Everyone will say, oh, yeah. Have you noticed the amount of people say, oh, I just landed a new role?
Yeah, that's true.
My dad worked for British Rail for over 30 years, right? My dad is now in his late 80s. He picked up a gold watch, literally at retirement. Right?
Oh, wow.
He picked up the gold watch.
Wow.
They put my mum and dad on the Orient Express. They had a wonderful time.
Wow.
My
beautiful.
dad is the last of the Mohicans. Right? He used to think, why do you have so many jobs? Why do you and your brothers, why are you always in and out? I'm like, Dad, things have changed.
It's a new environment.
I ain't picking up no gold watch.
So this is important, guys. So this information that we're sharing with you, this is why it's important. Because of this. Yeah, time is a commodity, knowledge is a commodity, but now stability is a commodity.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so come on, take us to the promised land, champion.
Okay, cool. So we're going to look at Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett, the Warren Buffett method is value investing. So he goes for the long term, 2, 3, 4, 5 years and beyond. So you can take control of your investment by using the Warren Buffett method. The Warren Buffett method is not day trading, swing trading, looking at charts and, getting in and out. And it's very sort of like sexy. Like everyone loves that. It's like Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone loves Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, but the Wolf of Wall Street paid a high price. If you read his autobiography and you watch film, he actually paid a high price for that. If you look at Warren Buffett, the guy is like, what, 110?
It's true.
150.
You can see that he's clean.
And the guy's still going. He's clean. He's not got any addictions, anything like that, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to look at is the way of how he looks at stock and breaks down a particular company, right? So one of the things you'd be looking at when you're looking at a stock, so for instance, let's look at Tesla, right? So one of the things you look at a stock is there's something called a moat, right? So the castles from Henry VIII and King Arthur. Yeah, King Arthur. So you got a big castle and you got a moat and a drawbridge and all that sort of stuff. So when you look at a company, you say, is this company, does it have a moat? What does that mean? That means is this company is so unique that not many people are doing what it's doing. It's almost untouchable, right? So when Apple first came out, who was doing what Apple were doing? Seriously, I had touch phones back in the day before Apple, and it wasn't
That's
like
right.
Apple.
It wasn't like that.
Right? Who's got what iTunes rivals? What is the equivalent of iTunes that rivals Apple? Yeah, you've got Spotify and all that sort of stuff, but Apple stands alone. Yeah, they still are. Like, I couldn't recommend another tablet, right? So Apple has
Yeah.
what you call a moat.
Yeah.
It's got the best iPhone in the market for security. Every investment bank I've worked at, they only use iPhones. They do not use Android. Why? Because Android has security vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
The iOS platform does not.
Okay.
So every investment bank, Deutsche Bank, Royal Bank of Canada, HSBC, Santander, every single bank I've worked for use iOS products. Used to be BlackBerry. BlackBerry's dead and gone. Now it's iOS.
Okay.
Right? So look for companies that have a moat, right, that are unique. Netflix, who else is doing it like Netflix? There are a few companies out
Yeah,
there,
they've
but
come
Netflix
up.
is killing it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, right?
Sure, there's nothing like Netflix.
Netflix is really killing it. Again, Coca-Cola, right? Pepsi's is probably its closest rival, but apart from that, it's got its own moat.
Yeah.
It's kind of untouchable. That's what a moat means. You're kind of untouchable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So what you're saying is, so look for something that's quite unique. Yeah. If you spot something that's quite unique, like Tesla,
Yeah.
if we had this conversation, how long Tesla been around? What, 5 years?
Tesla's been around for over 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
So if we had this conversation 11 years ago, and we're learning the things that we learned now, and we heard that this company called Tesla's coming into the market, then it's like what they're bringing in terms of the environment, electric car, no one was doing it at the time, or
Correct.
or not to the way that they were going to be doing it.
Correct.
So that's already a really good sign if we're going to be a value investor.
Right. Correct.
And sorry to cut you, sorry to
go on.
interrupt. And also, and from listening to you as well, in this day and age, right now, there are so many new things springing up.
So many. We live in one of the most interesting times. It's one of the toughest times in terms of what's going on in the world, but it's also one of the most empowering times ever, because what you can do now, what the internet has done, it has democratized investing. It has democratized enterprise and commercial endeavors. What do I mean by that? It's got rid of the middleman, right? 10, 20 years ago, if you want to start a company, you had to buy a little building, put a computer server in, or that's the mail server, the file server. I need security. I need security cameras, blah, blah, blah. You need all these overheads. Now, you just pay £8 to Microsoft every month, and you've got something in the cloud that does everything. Right?
Absolutely.
So we live in a really interesting time. And why am I mentioning this is that you have trading stroke investing platforms out there. Whereas when I started out, I had a phone, 56k modem. I had to call up the broker. Hello, I want to invest in this company. Okay, sir, this is the fee to invest. Okay, no problem. Click, put the phone down. And that is how I invested. Yeah, the olden days, right? Horse and cart. Not that old, but anyway. So these days, you don't need to. You get your iPad out, you get your iPhone out, you got investing apps.
Yeah.
One app that is pretty good for people to use is Trading 212.
Okay.
Right? So there is a link on my platform that will be going up today for Trading 212. You click on that link, right? And that will take you to their platform. Some of you may already be aware of it. Some of you may already have it. In fact, it was so popular that earlier on this year, when I tried to sign someone out, there was a what do you call it? A waiting
list.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never seen that before.
Wow.
So people are waking up, right? People are waking up. That's how popular the platform is. So why do I like it? Because there are no fees. They're very low fees. And for what we want to do, there are no fees. Why is that? Because they have AI algorithms doing the job of basic administration. Whereas back in the day, you needed a team of actual people. So I had to pay a fee for that. Now, because the efficiency of the AI is so good, hey, guess what? You can trade for almost next to nothing.
This is a good time to build stuff. This is a really, really... Sometimes we can feel like we miss the opportunity, we miss the boat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we see all these things that are around us nowadays. But you're saying like now is an excellent time.
Now's a really great time.
Clued up and get involved.
Yeah. Just adopt the abundance mindset. The abundance mindset says no matter what happens, if the sky's falling in, if the volcano erupts in, Antigua or wherever around the world, I'm still going to make the best of this situation, right? Because people unfortunately get into the mindset, oh, I missed this opportunity, it's too late. But guess what? There's another Tesla on the horizon. There's another Netflix. There's another something.
So how do we get involved in that? Okay, the Warren Buffett method, value investor.
Right, Warren Buffett method is we are going to look at breaking down stocks. So once you've found a stock, once you've gone onto certain platforms like seekingalpha.com, like Motley Fool, you found a particular stock, then you say to yourself, right, okay, let's have a look at this stock. Let's see what it's doing. So you look at things like the 52-week average. The 52-week average is telling you how that stock has performed over 52 weeks. When you go onto these platforms, you'll have little charts and it will show you how that stock is performing. If that stock is more or less in positive territory over that 52-week period, that is what I call them data points, right? And the more good data points you have, the chances of that investment going well becomes a better,
quite high.
Yeah, it's quite high, right? So that's the sort of thing I look at, right? Also, we're also looking at who's running the company. So you need a good stable, so like a CEO, a good stable leader running the company. This is, if they've got a background that's a little bit dodgy or background that has been very volatile, that should tell you a lot about where the direction of the company should go. If you've got like a Warren Buffett and even Elon Musk, even though Elon Musk comes out and says things, his brain is just somewhere else. He's such an interesting guy. He's kind of like a Steve Jobs, but just slightly different, right? So just the psychology of the person heading up the company, if they're hitting the mark if they're bringing out iPhones and iPads and Apple Watches and it's hitting the market and staying on top, you've got that leadership is very, very good, right?
Okay.
So the leader or the CEO of the company is something also to look at.
It's interesting that you should say that because usually I especially during my early years, I just wasn't interested in what's happening in current affairs and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I just had no interest.
Sure.
However, it depends on what you're involved in, what you're doing, isn't it?
Sure.
There are some things as a presenter that I have to clue myself up with and educate myself about as a presenter or when I go into a certain environment. So what you're saying is now we're going into this environment of investing, we need to know and do our back due diligence.
Correct.
Concerning companies and organizations to be strategic in our approach of what we're doing.
Yeah, 100%. So important. The research, I always like to say this, you would not buy a house without carrying out a survey. You wouldn't buy a car without popping a hood, checking that where's the logbook with the previous owner, has it got some finance agreement running on it that I don't know about? How much is on the clock? Has it been clocked? Does the block engine match up with the Sashi engine? Is it a chop shop? Do you know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't do that, right? So why would you do that with an investment? Why would you buy something that if you've bought something and you don't fully understand it, you haven't invested, you have gambled, right? And people are gambling, not in Ladbrokes or Coral per se or 888, but they are gambling, right? Because they didn't understand what they were getting into. So if you don't understand it, then you are really gambling. Okay. Right? So the minute you have an understanding, you're fully aware of the pitfalls and the good and the bad, now you're becoming an investor. And that's what this research is about. Yeah? That's what the research is about. Look at the leadership. You look at the leadership, you look at things like the 52-week average, you look at things like the volume, the amount of people in the stock market, in that particular stock, that particular asset class. You're looking at all these sorts of things, right? And the more, I call them data points, the more data points you have, the better, right? So you are basically, it's like almost like an insurance policy, right? The more research you have, the more data points you have, you can almost say that your chances of this doing well, it's literally like starting a company. Yeah. You start a small company and you research your market. You look at your competition. Yeah. You're gonna do well. There's I forgot what his name is.
But he spoke about God, what's his name?
Brian
It's the
Tracy?
guy. No, it's the one he made he's made his money in real estate, and he buys plots of land.
Donald Trump.
No,
No, I'm kidding. Keep going.
Oh gosh, what was his name? Oh my God, begins with M. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember anymore. But basically, what he said like this. Sorry,
He's an American guy.
he's American. Yeah, he used to be into drugs. He used to be a drug dealer. Into drugs, and then he kind of came out of it and really used that focus and discipline that he got as a drug dealer to start off from nowhere and start to get involved in this and start to push real estate. I can't remember his name right now, but what's interesting about him is that wait, I think I got it. Grant Cardone. That's it, Grant Cardone.
I've heard of him.
Grant Cardone.
Right,
and basically what he said like this, you know what? They started a new TV show where he basically, he starts from scratch. No one knows where he is. And he's just given £100 from the production company to go out there and start multiplying that £100 to create a business, right? And so basically what he did, he says, you know what? I ain't going there just to make money. I'm there to create assets, to get assets. So he done quite a few things. I'll see if I can send a link to that conversation. But what he said is this. He said, like, there's so many businesses out there. If you go on the high street, how many barbershops do you have? How many restaurants do you have? There's so many businesses, and they're all pretty much doing the same thing. Cities jam-packed, but they all have the same thing. And he says, you know what you need to do? You know what? All you need to do is, he says, what he did was this. He says, look, if I went to this company, I said, look, I'm going to add value to your company, and that value is what you're going to pay me. Right? So the company was already doing. So he said, look, I don't want you to pay me for what you're already doing.
Right.
What I add. So he went into that company and he started to do a whole promotional thing or whatever, selling mattresses, and they got all this excess retail and business being done, and he says, I want a share of the company or from what I add to it.
Right.
So he says, like, you know, you can start going through all the trouble to start a new business, or you can add value to a current business and take your share from that. Take equity from that. Dragon's Den. So this is like what we're doing in terms of stocks.
Right.
We're adding our value, our investment into the company, and the equity, when it increases, we're getting back and we're doing our research to understand it, know how it works, who we can trust, we're in this field, we're in this environment. That's what you're bringing us into here.
Correct. You know, one of my favorite people in the Bible is Joseph, right? Why? Why do I like Joseph? Because Joseph was taught by his father many things, right? And by the time he got to Egypt, he was bilingual.
Yeah.
He knew accountancy. He knew agriculture. He knew irrigation.
Wow.
So on the outside, he was just a common slave, but homeboy had skills. He had skills, right? And he got noticed. When you have skills, people tap you up. You get noticed. You get headhunted. Joseph got headhunted.
Yeah.
Let's be real. He got headhunted. And he's this help me. If you do the irrigation like this, your crops will turn out like that. And if you you manage your accounts like that. So he was a triple threat. Yeah. He had multiple skill sets. And what I'm saying to people is it's great that you've got your career. That's really great. But have more than one skill, right? Skills pay bills, right? And when the market turns against you and the job market is going bad and blah, 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 right? You should be in a position where you can take your intellectual property, which is what you can do, right? And have that help you. Right? Wow. It's not about getting rich and being wealthy and showing off and buying Ferrari. No. It's about positioning yourself so that you're securing your future, protecting your family, and taking the heat out of your day so that you are not subservient to your boss coming in and say, right, you're sacked.
And on that note, guys, it seems like we've just about run out of time.
No problem.
Look, guys, so this has been a really, really powerful pursuit of success today. My financial IQ has been definitely increased. I hope your financial IQ has been increased as well. But we've been talking about becoming a value investor and the importance of research. Looking at the 52-week average. 52-week average? What's that? What's it been doing in 52 weeks? Yeah. If you've been following what Maurice has been sharing with us, you would be going into YouTube, Yahoo Finance, right? You'd be checking out your Motley Fool, so you'd be familiar with these things. If you've gone into what's it called again?
The trading app is Trading 121.
Okay.
So Trading 121. So I've got a link. Mm-hmm. So go to my Instagram, which is my money IQ. Go to there and you'll find a link. Just click on that link. I will put up stuff also there on how to take advantage of Trading 212. And let me just say this, guys. The beautiful thing about this platform is that if you've got £20 in your pocket, guess what? You can take advantage of the stock market. So what is the beauty of Trading 212? So, okay, you can't buy, Tesla's too expensive. I don't have £500, £600 to buy Tesla. What does Trading 212 does? It allows you to buy a fraction of a share. Okay. You don't have to buy one share.
Okay.
You can buy 0.1%. I've only got £50. I haven't got £500. Cool. Then rather than buy the whole share, you can buy 0.1% of Tesla. And if Tesla starts to rise over the next 6 months, guess what? Your £50 is now £80. Okay, that's not a lot of money. But if it's 500, you put another naught on the end of that. That's 500 goes to 800. If it's £5,000 goes to £8,000, and so on and so forth.
Wow.
Right. So what is the beauty of this? Your entry into the market is very low. If you've got a job that's not paying enough or not paying you that much, you can take advantage of the market with your intellectual knowledge and your with your self-education. You can empower yourself and build a future for yourself and your family.
Brilliant. All right. And so those of you who wondered, remember 2 weeks ago we asked if you what you could do with a £20 or £30 or £50.
This is what I meant.
There you go. There you have it. All right, guys. So look, if we don't seek, we will not find anything. All right, so all these things have been brought to us. Everything that Maurice sends to me, like I'm like, so I literally go into it because I really want to take advantage of what we're hearing now, because what we want is in 6 months' time, a year's time. Breakfast Show's been going on since November 2017. Yeah, what we want is that when we get to 2022, 2023, we're seeing outcomes from this information, and it's been applied. We're bearing its fruits. Okay, and when is it going to start? It starts whenever you're ready to start, because the information has been shared. Whether it's just just to subscribe to the free magazine. That's it. It all starts from there. So look, let's keep going, guys. Let's be powerful. Let's have a robust day. Look, guys, if you're watching this program now, just know that I got shipped away by my wife for my birthday. All right, so I'm not actually in the studios, but we'll be together again next week live in the studios. And I wish you all well. If you want to catch up on previous replays of The Breakfast Show, check out youtube.com/C/Robust Life TV, where you'll be able to see this interview again and other interviews. You'll get links to Maurice as well. You'll get links to his Instagram and also to all of our other guests that have been on the program since. So literally it's just adding more value to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe the page, share it on, because it's going to help somebody, and we really want to go out there and make the difference here on The Breakfast Show. If you're watching a replay, just know that we're live Monday to Thursday on libertyradio.co.uk from the hours of 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's it. We're done for today. I hope you enjoyed this special program. I would be in the live chat communicating with you, all right now. But we prepared this for you because I knew I'd be shipped away by my wife and children in the boot of a car. But I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm happy. But I'll be back tomorrow with the No, I won't be back tomorrow. It'll be the following week. And I'll be happy to see you all then. Guys, stay powerful, stay strong, stay robust. God bless you, Captain Hugo, for doing a great job this morning. And everybody else, we'll see you in a bit. Thanks, Maurice, by the way.
You're welcome. So welcome, guys.
Ciao for now. Connect online Monday to Friday with special guests for inspiration, motivation to start your morning right. Music, banter, fun and laughter. Connect when you start your mornings with The Breakfast Show. Only on Liberty Radio.